Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Red Corner Boxing's preview show on a Friday night with myself, Jams, and special guests. And tonight we have Billionaire Boxing TV. We have the home of boxing, Brett the Boxing Man, who is a Brett now living abroad. Everybody knows Brett the Boxing Man. And Blunts Boxing, the Monday Space Maestro on X. Welcome, gentlemen. But before I get into greetings and all that with you guys, this show is sponsored by easystorage.com and boxingfizone.com for your storage and boxing apparel needs. All the links are in the bio. Now, welcome, gentlemen. First and foremost, I hope you're all doing very, very well and looking forward to this historic weekend of boxing. Energy, say hello.
It is the one, mate. It is the one weekend. It is Cinco de Mayo. It is the one weekend. It's the weekend where boxing comes to life. We have got three of the best cards. I know people won't be knowing about Conor Walker against Sam Eggington, but that's a solid card. If you know British boxing, you know that's all about the business. That's a war. Even though Eggington's going down to 147, these men are going to get it on. It's going to be a war. But then we've got the two big ones. We've got Inoue, Zurdo, Nakatani, pound for pound, 1 against 2. Absolute fucking warrior fight from the Tokyo Dome in Japan. We've got David Benavidez against Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez coming from Mexico. Well, not from Mexico, from Las Vegas for Mexico. Somebody's going to get cleansed up. Someone's getting knocked out. It's going to be an absolute fire of a weekend. We're starting it here. We on Red Corner Boxing. Jams and Mr. Neutral with our special guest. We're going to bring you our predictions, our thoughts on this fight, so stick with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jams. Well, let's take ourselves to Japan. Saturday night. It'll be Saturday morning for the Brits and very early in the morning for the Americans to follow this fight. And it's going to be it's a cracking card, first and foremost, gentlemen. Can we agree on that? You know, not only in the sense that we got world-class title fights, but it's a Japanese event, which gives it that little bit of, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. Can we agree on that?
Yes, sir.
What do you think, Bugs? Billionaire?
Yes, sir. You know what I think? I think the Japanese, they know they boxing, man. So I'm expecting any word on the undercard? Anybody hear anything about the undercard?
Yeah, well, there's some good fights on there, mate. You've got Tanaka fighting, Sora Tanaka's fighting against Jin Sasaki. That's a cracking fight, that is. He's 5-0, 5 knockouts. Sasaki's coming off a massive knockout against Pagapalanan. We've got Takuma Inoue against Kazuki Iota. Another fantastic fight.
Yeah.
Some real action.
Just so everybody knows, that's a historical fight for Ioka as well. If he's able to win this title, he'd be the first Japanese male fighter to be a 5-division champion.
It's going to be a great night of boxing.
Yeah,
man.
It's for the WBC Bantam, isn't it? So it's a cracking fight, mate. Honestly, this card, you got Munguia against Resendez as well. Another cracking all-Mexican fight. This weekend cannot fail to entertain.
Absolutely. You know, let's start with the main events of each of the, you know, the Japanese card, the British card, and the American card. Let's take the main events first, and then we'll go back to the undercards. So we're going to start with Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani for the IBF, WBC, WBO, and WBA belts. And Ring Magazine. For me, the pound-for-pound fight of the 21st century. For me, I've not seen a better pound-for-pound fight than this, what we're about to see. Both are 32-0. Both are unbeaten. Both are multi-weight world champions with knockout records to die for. I mean, we can't overstate just how important this fight is for boxing right now. Amongst all the seedy stuff, the bad rumblings we hear in the rumors, but this brings light upon the sport, this fight for me, and it's going to be a cracking main event. Now, let's go in order. Jams, I'll come to you last. Billionaire boxing. Sum up how you see this fight going.
All right, so I think a lot of people are looking forward, including myself. I'm looking forward to see what kind of left hand packages Nakatani brings to the fight. I think if we're talking Nakatani, his last fight was pretty interesting. So I'm also trying to see what kind of pressure anyway, or if anyway is going to change up his style a little bit and try to pressure him a little bit more. But I'm anxious to see what Nakatani's left hand is going to do. I got Inoue winning, but man, I can't wait to see what kind of show Nakatani put on. I think he could win as well.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, Inoue is shit hot right now. He can't do nothing wrong. I feel like the boxing man, if we can come to you next, I feel that that Inoue has got all the tension in the build-up to this fight, Brett. And Nakatani's just been going about his business on the quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing of this fight is,
man. So we're gonna see, man. Like I said, Nakatani's last fight, it's one of the few times that we've ever kind of seen him face adversity, and I'm just interested to see what he's changed in between camps and what he's done to prepare for Inoue, and I'm anxious to see what kind of preparations Inoue has made too. I think this is, I agree with you. This is like the best pound for pound fight we've had in a very long time in boxing. So I think it's going to be technical, but I also think it's going to be a lot of hard shots. Whose chin is going to hold up?
That's a great point. Whose chin's going to hold up? Brett, let's get back to you on that point. A lot has been said about Inoue's power, but we know that Inoue can be rocked and he can be put down. 2 different boxers have done it. What is your opinion on this fight, and how does Nakatani win this fight against a guy like Inoue?
Look, I was just about to say there, it's elite versus elite, isn't it? We're actually privileged to be getting a fight like this. I back up what Billionaire Boxing said there about, let's see what the preparations are like in Nakatani's camp and what tactics they're going to try and do to break this man down. Look, he can be stunned. We've seen that he can be stunned, but when you sit on top of the world and you just know that you can take people out at will, you're gonna be off key once in a while. You're gonna be there to be hit because you're probably taking it for granted that you can get people out there when you feel like it. This is a different story, though, lads. This is a different story. He has to be punch perfect too in this fight to do what he does. I would suggest that Inoue's going to try and close the distance to stop the ranginess, to get inside and let his hands go. And Nakatani's going to have to try and control the range, keep him off him. And I feel like that's the keys to both men winning the fight, is Inoue getting inside, working him, being aggressive, bullying him, and then in Nakatani's to try and keep him at range, see what's powers in that left hand, but keep him away, try and box him. I know Nakatani's down as a big puncher, but we're going to see if he's got some boxing skills in this one, because he's going to have some boxing skills in this one.
Absolutely, very well said. And talking about this matchup and contrast of styles, home of boxing, if I can come to you now, how do you see this contrast in styles in this fight playing out, in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Neutral, with you saying that Inoue is getting all the pressure. I feel like Nakatani haven't really been in the spotlight. It's more Inoue. Everybody already believes Inoue is going to win the fight. Yes. That's what makes the fight even better. Now I actually think, due to that, Nakatani will actually have a better performance. I believe it's actually a really close fight. I think Inoue will actually struggle dealing with Nakatani's reach, but Nakatani has to come prove himself, since he's in front of 55,000 fans in Japan in the Dome, which is really crazy. I think it's only the 4th fight that's ever happened in the Dome, so that's already history. And I believe Inoue might be able to pull it off by knockout, but I actually just think he'll get the UD, because Nakatani has way too much pressure as well, and he can't let anybody down in his hometown, and neither can Inoue. But Nakatani will probably definitely put up a fight. I think it'll be a close fight in the beginning, and then after Inoue might start pulling off the later rounds. But I think it will definitely get a great fight, potential fight of the year, but I'm not sure. But it will be an amazing fight for sure.
Absolutely. Bloods and Box, and welcome, mate, if I can come to you next. You've just had the boys there and their points of view on how they see this fight playing out. We talked about the contrasting styles, the fact that Inoue's had far more of the spotlight. There is a sense that it's just another straightforward knockout victory for Inoue, certainly judging by Prediction League standards, how many have gone for that. However, do you feel that Nakatani does present a problem with this southpaw stance, first and foremost? And will this inch reach advantage really come into play? I know he's taller by 3 inches, Nakatani, but can you see the long game from Junto?
So, in my opinion, that would be his best bet, would to actually use his size advantages in which he has. So, I think from Nakatani, the thing is, I think a lot of people are a bit overvaluing his last fight in terms of his opponent and what he was able to do against Nakatani. A lot of people are ignoring how well Nakatani actually worked from range in that fight, how his punch variety was actually very top notch, throwing the uppercut from distance while using it with from the jab. It's, in my opinion, his best bet is to work from range, to try to have Inoue lunge into a shot. And if he does lunge into a shot, based off of the power of Nakatani and what we have seen, I think it would be naive for us to think that he doesn't have the ability or the power or the timing to possibly finish Inoue, or at least drop him. And maybe if he's smart, win the decision.
Yeah, very much so. I don't think it's cut and dried, this fight, by any standards. Yes, they've both got knockout power. They both got multiple tools to their advantage. If you look at their resumes, I mean, both of them, well, the last fights each, they've both gone the distance. Nakatani retired Ryusoko Nishida, whereas Inoue was taken the distance by Ahmed Ali. His last knockout was Ramon Cardenas. And so dropped him. And he got dropped by
Cardenas and Neri.
Lewis Neely, that's right, back in 2024. And I look at the resume of Nakatani, and it's been quite the improvement in every fight, from Alexandro Santiago to Vincent Astrolabio, Tassana Salapan, David Quayler, great fight, knockout. As I said, he retired Nishida, and a good fight between Sebastian Reyes, who's a lot of people do not give a lot of credit for. We tend to, as fans, focus on the top guys in each division without really giving the props to the guys that are underneath them. However, we have to come to a prediction time, because I know you've given your predictions in Prediction League, but has anything changed your minds in the meantime? I'll start with you, Jams, my co-founder, my friend. What do you see finally in your mind going to happen here Saturday morning?
To be honest, mate, I was all for Junto Nakatani. I was backing him to the hilt. I was thinking, when they do come together at Super Bants, I was thinking Junto's the one who could do him, could stop him. He's got 24 knockouts from 27 wins, 32 wins now, but I'm going back a while. I always thought Junto was the guy who could do him. But then watching how Sebastian Hernandez handled him, and he did handle him, let's be honest, he handled Junto. Junto looked very poor in that. Like Blunt said, he was landing some good counter shots on the outside and stuff, but a lot of people think he lost that fight. To be honest, I gave him the win, but it was very, very razor close. And with no disrespect to Hernandez, if you can't beat Hernandez, you're not beating Inoue. So I'm going for Inoue knockout round 7. I think he gets to Junto quite mid to early mid, and just takes him out. I think he'll land something on Junto, and Junto will not recover. I just don't think he's the guy, mate. I don't think he's the guy we all thought he was.
Right,
That's just my
okay
opinion,
then.
of course.
Yeah, great stuff, mate. Thanks for that. Billionaire Jam says the last performance will not carry him through into this fight. Will he A, repeat that performance, and B, give us your final thoughts on how this fight's going to end up?
Although I do have Inoue winning, I'm not sure how yet. I want to say by a TKO, possible TKO. I feel like Hernandez was a puncher. He came in with a very high knockout percentage. He was undefeated as well. So I just think Nakatani ran into a bit of a test. But Inoue, I got Inoue winning either by TKO or by I'm a TKO. Inoue TKO. That's what I'm going with.
Well, a late one or a sort of mid rounds. Right. Thanks, Billionaire. Brett the Boxing Man.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, Inoue's going to come through, but I think there'll be a scare for him. I think the scare is going to come early, but then I see him weighing him down in the back stretch, potentially stopping him very, very late, like a climax of like round 11, 12 type stoppage. If not, it goes all the way. But Inoue's victorious.
Right. Thank you, Brett. Home of Boxing, same thing to you, pal. But Brett highlighted something there that pricked my interest level. Was wearing down, he said, Inoue. But can you see the forward coming, Nakatani being worn down late for a stoppage yourself?
No, I don't think so, because Nakatani, yeah, he did have trouble with Hernandez's last fight, but that was a whole different style than what Inoue is going to bring tomorrow night.
Correct.
So I feel like Inoue's style is not exactly the style that's going to give him the problems that Hernandez gave him. So I think, yes, both of them will probably have I would say that both of them are probably gonna have good moments. They're both gonna probably hurt each other. Both of them are gonna look like they're about to knock each other, like knock one another down. But then I think how I was saying in the last what I just said recently, I'm thinking Inoue is gonna end up figuring it out towards the end, and then he'll probably get the UD. I think it's too big of a experience or a big pressure for both guys. Like too much pressure. I don't think any of them are gonna want to get knocked out. Like I really don't think so. If anything, maybe Inoue gets dropped because we've seen him get dropped. But Nakatani, I really don't think he's gonna go anywhere. He's really gonna be holding himself down, and he'll definitely, I think, be able to handle all 12 rounds. But he might. But I don't think he'll be able to win it. But I do have Inoue by UD. But I think it'll definitely be a good fight from the beginning towards the end.
I certainly agree with you there, mate. I certainly agree. And Blunts and Boxing, potentially we're going to look at a fight of the year contest, judging by what the lads are saying here. How do you see this fight going finally? And B, give us the sense of what will this do for him in the fans' eyes?
So, I mean, it's a unique case. I think that this is such a difficult fight to actually be able to get a good guesstimation on exactly who's going to win. I do favor Inoue solely because of the skill set in which he has, his footwork, his ability to break a distance, even his punch variety, I think, is just beyond that of what Nakatani possesses. So it makes me believe that Inoue should win by unanimous decision. I do believe it will be a back and forth early, but I think that Inoue will kind of show the difference in skill level towards the end of the fight and really just kind of sweep the championship rounds. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm very intrigued. And in terms of what it does, if Ioka is unsuccessful, then Inoue will be the first Japanese male fighter to win 5 division. Or no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I think in this case, what's unique about this is a historical fight in terms of Japanese boxing. So the winner comes out as just a hero for the Japanese people, but in terms of pound for pound rankings, Inoue solidifies his number one position, or Nakatani finds himself at possibly number two in the world. Or maybe some may be able to argue number one based off of Usyk fighting a kickboxer. So there's a lot of things that are unique about what could happen in this fight and what we see afterwards in terms of the rankings for pound.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of connotations. Definitely.
Yeah, many a conversation and pound for pound lists once this fight is over and done with will be made up immediately. I can see it now, or to be published and posted on X as soon as the fight is done. And rightly so, because I said before, this is probably historically one of the biggest pound for pound fights in history. I've never seen a 3-weight world champion, not ranked 1 and 2 in the world, fighting their unbeaten records. This is a unique occasion. And I, for one, and Red Corner Boxing along with Jams, will be relishing this fight and to be remembered in history. And may the best man win. And do the watch. Now the best man win there. I think Nakatani, as you gentlemen quite rightly say, at some point in this fight, probably mid-rounds, they're going to come to a head. It'll be one of them has to go for hell for leather because of pressure from one or the other. It's whether who has the will to win. Will it be a 33-year-old Inoue or the 28-year-old Nakatani who folds first? I don't know. For me, it's a true 50-50 fight of Japanese culture. The southpaw with that left hand is a beautiful shot from Nakatani. And you got Inoue with supreme footwork and knockout power. It's a tremendous fight. I can't wait. I'm not going to say who I think wins. I don't know. Draw. There you go. Could be a draw.
Take the draw. Do a big ride special.
Yeah. Let's move on to America.
Zurdo Ramirez versus David Benavidez. WBA Cruiserweight World Titles from Las Vegas. Cinco de Mayo weekend. Absolute banger. Absolute firestorm here. Who can you pick in this one? Because Benavidez, he calls himself El Monster, the Mexican Monster. There's been a lot of hate towards that. There's been a lot of hate towards him. But he's taking on the boy, mate, at Cruiserweight, Zurdo Ramirez, who looks big and strong. How do you see it going? Mr. Neutral, what we saying?
Well, I must be the only guy in the world that thinks that Zurdo's going to knock out David Benavidez. Too big, too strong. And I've seen evidence of Benavidez's chin not taking power like that. I may be wrong. I know how fast
I've seen a sparring video of him getting dropped by Caleb Plant.
There you go. I just think there's not levels here. There's no doubting the levels of David Benavidez, but what I'm doubting is physical levels. A 3-inch, 2-inch height advantage for Zurdo Ramirez. He is by far the bigger man. And with that cruiserweight power that's just natural to him. Whereas David Benavidez has worked his way up from middleweight to light heavyweight, and now a further 200, well, another further 25 pounds to put on. He weighed in at 196 pounds. He's a bit some way off the limit. Some will say he's staying light. He wants to keep his speed, but is he sacrificing speed for power? That many people are assuming that David Benavidez is going to stop Gilberto Ramirez. If anything, I think myself that Benavidez will probably win by a decision. And that decision may not be justified. We'll see, but that's just me. But I think Zurdo, too big, too strong, catches in late rounds and forces the referee for a must-see stoppage. That's just me. What do you say, Billionaire?
I do agree with you. Zurdo is real big and he's real strong, but I just don't think Zurdo really hitting on now. You know what I mean? I think David Benavidez is a generational talent. I think that I do believe that a unanimous decision or a split decision for David is more real, but I also believe that if David's pressure, if he can put that pressure in and does what he normally does to guys and pretty much beat them up over the course of so many rounds, that he could possibly get the referee to stop the fight or something like that nature. But I just think Gilberto ain't never seen nothing like this before, and David gonna show you, Mr. Neutral, why he's the Mexican monster.
All right, well, let me push back on that. You said he's never seen anything like David Benavidez. I beg to differ. His only loss is to the professor, probably the most naturally gifted boxer in the world right now, left in boxing, and that's Dimitri Bivol. Losing to Bivol is an education that David Benavidez simply doesn't have from his previous opponents, from Anthony Yard down to Mario Brides. So forgive me. Sorry, not Brides. Who's the other guy, James?
I believe so. I don't take nothing away from Bival's performance, and you're right. Bival is definitely one of those guys. But then there's this guy named David Benavidez as well, and I think that the world is going to see Saturday what he can do.
We're going to see another Bivol type performance. Let's see what Brett the Boxing Man thinks.
Just one question, Mr. Neutral. Have you been paid as a hype man for Zurdo? Have you?
This is the thing. This is the thing, Brett. We're getting into this, this guy must be being paid to hype him up. I don't see it that way. I see it as purely in the boxing sense that this guy is too big. He'll outman David Benavidez. He'll come in a lot lighter. He'll lean on him. He won't allow the freedom. You remember the Chris Billam-Smith fight? He smothered Chris for 12 rounds. Chris could do nothing.
That's not the same fighter he's fighting.
All I'm saying is David Benavidez moving up 24 pounds is not going to be retaining no speed that he had and stamina levels that he may have enjoyed at 160 and 175 pounds. But I respect what you're saying. The levels, I've always got to keep that in mind. David Benavidez is an extremely talented man, but at some point, where does the ceiling end, Brett?
Look, this is why it's class, because otherwise these talks are boring, aren't they? Like you're backing up why you think it's going to be one way. Let me back it up why I think it's going to be another way. I think finally Benavidez is going to get his well-deserved flowers. He is a top fighter. My dog's killing me right now. Sorry, guys. And his combination punching is another level. And I think that what we're going to see is, there is a size difference, and let's see how that plays out. But ultimately, for me, I really like Billionaire was saying, this is the fight where we finally take our hats and tip them to Benavidez, and I can't wait. Obviously the other fight is elite versus elite, but I'm really excited for this one because I believe that Benavidez is going to put something special on. Really, 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 really excited for this one, mate.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, mate. Home of boxing. Brett mentions elite versus elite. Is Gilberto Ramirez not elite at cruiserweight, where he's a double world champion?
Oh, first I just have to say, how much are they paying you? No, I'm just joking. No, actually,
no, he's another one.
We don't get paid, unfortunately.
I'm joking. That was a funny joke by the boxing man. No, for sure. I agree. No, Zurdo's gonna be a big test. He's gonna be a tough test. I see that, but I just feel like same as the Inoue Nakatani fight, Benavidez versus Zurdo, they got way too much on the line. So many fans. He's trying to become the face of Mexican boxing. He can't just put a performance and win by unanimous decision. He needs to set a statement. And I've seen they sparred before, and I've seen Benavidez lands the hard shots on him. So they already know each other well. So I really believe Benavidez would definitely be able to apply the pressure from the beginning, and then towards the end, I think we'll see Zurdo was like a cut or either too many punches where he can't even respond no more, and the ref's gonna call it off. But no, I do believe Zurdo will definitely be durable, show something different of Benavidez, show Benavidez he's gonna have to push himself to the next level, because how you said we've only lost to Bivol, and Bivol is a whole different style, but that's another pound for pound great fighter. So you can't take anything away from that. But Benavidez is here to show that why he could hang and why he's trying to go down and fight Bivol after. But I really believe Benavidez will win by UD, or no, not UD, by TKO round 10 or 11, by doctor stoppage, or the ref just waving it off.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Respect. Blunts and boxing, I come to you. You've got a very strong Mexican connection. Now, obviously, you've seen the sparring between these two guys. You know the history. So give us your point of view on the pros and cons of Zurdo Ramirez on David Benavidez. Just what is he going to enjoy and what's he not going to enjoy with Ramirez?
Okay, so I'm very strong of this opinion when we're thinking about fight of the year and people bring up Inoue Nakatani. Yeah. I think the fight of the year what is likely Benavidez Zurdo. And the reason being is this fight is not going to be fought off the back foot. This fight is going to be fought in the middle of the ring. This fight is going to have a very high output. I mean, if you look at Ramirez, what he has been able to do in terms of elite championship level in either super middleweight, like heavyweight, cruiserweight, he's been able to provide a huge output. At cruiserweight, he does this. At light heavyweight against Bivol, he attempted very much so to try to outland Bivol. He couldn't, but still, I mean, if you look at it, almost 900 punches from Zurdo Ramirez against Bivol. So what does this make us think? In my opinion, Zurdo may bring something that Benavidez has never seen in terms of a pressure fighter just like him who can bring out literally the best in Bena in terms of Zurdo is going to continuously apply pressure and it's not going to stop. Benavidez is going to have no option but to use his great, and I mean great, plus minus ability in terms of he's one of the best boxers we do have in boxing. He lands the most while receiving the least amount of punches. That is a reality if we want to believe CompuBox. So it makes you wonder, are we about to see just an action-packed fight of two individuals just throwing nonstop at each other and then likely ending in what I think to be the best Mexican on Mexican fight in a very, very long time. I'm very excited for this fight. Again, I think this is going to be fight of the year.
Absolutely. Great points. And you made it very, very clear for me that this fight at some point is going to be hell for leather in the middle of that ring. And for multiple reasons, maybe that we're not taking into account, due to the styles that these two gentlemen have, this energy sapping style over 12 rounds, back and forth between each other. It's going to be a war of attrition. And I think maybe this Mexico versus USA Mexico thing in Vegas, I just hope there's no goddamn politics that plays into the results. Should it go the distance, gentlemen? Because it would be a bloody shame if the judges spoiled what could be potentially fight of the year. That's always an element that I take into account when making my predictions. And on this occasion, should it not go David Benavidez's way, but goes the distance, people will think that maybe Zurdo has outworked him or outmanned him. But there's always this thing in the back of fans' mind that when it comes to the judging, and I can't moan because British judging is the worst in the world. as far as I'm concerned. But there's always this element. Will the Mexican contingent that attends this fight, Jams, will they make it so loud for Zurdo Ramirez, or is their fan base split in the arena? What do you think?
To be honest, mate, I think it's going to be an absolute all-out brawl from round one. I think they're going to come out slugging. I think Benavidez going up to 200 is the best thing he could have done. I know it's the biggest jump in boxing, 25 pounds from light heavy to cruiser, but he needed to do it. He was struggling. He was struggling at 175. He looked laboured. He looked tired. He was barely getting through. I know he stopped Yard, but come on, Yard was cooked, 2 years before that? I think this fight against Zurdo, I think Benavidez is going to come out and put on a masterclass, mate. I think we're going to see a new David Benavidez, one we've never seen before, all-out aggression. I think it's going to be toe-to-toe war for 5 rounds, and I think David Benavidez is going to force the referee to stop the fight, mate, and Zurdo will be stopped for the first time in his career. That's what I genuinely believe, and I'm sticking with it. I'm going for a round 5, David Benavidez TKO.
Wow.
I genuinely see it, mate. I genuinely see it. And I've always said Benavidez ain't the biggest puncher. I've just got a feeling he's going to come out something different, mate. I think we're going to see a different monster.
Aye. If Zurdo catches a cold with David Benavidez, that could well be the likely outcome in that scenario, Jams. However, I've got to come back. The man's a professional. He'll be expecting a fast start from Benavidez, as traditionally he does in each of his fights. So I've no doubt that plans have been made, but the best played strategy always gets changed when you get punched in the face, courtesy of Mike Tyson. Now, gentlemen, let's round off this event and move over the other side of the pond, where we're going to quickly go through this British card. There's only 2 fights that we're going to actually talk about, and we'll just give our opinions on the other ones. Jams, take it away.
Yeah, so we've got Conor Walker against Sam Eggington. It's at 147. Eggington coming down from 154, where he's campaigned for a good few years now. So he's looking lean. He's looking a little bit thin at the weight, in my opinion. And he's coming against Conor the Wolf Walker, who's been banging people out for fun. You know, he stopped Pat McCormack, who no 140 beat. He's on that trajectory at the moment. He's the confidence man. So we've got Conor Walker the Wolf against Sam Eggington. What are we saying, Mr. Neutral?
Right, well, yeah, Conor Walker, very good fighter, rejuvenated in the last, in 2025, seems to be on the up, considering, late in his career. And we've got Sam Eggington coming down from 154 pounds. Now, I've interviewed Sam Eggington, and I said to him, you need to go up to 160 pounds. So it was a very big surprise to me, but maybe not, because Sam will take any fight. That he is not a man that you'll say no. So he does look lean, Jams. I have to say, he looks a bit drained, very drained, and I don't think he's going to carry the power into tomorrow night that's going to be needed to fend off Conor Walker. So I'm seeing a mid-round Mussy stoppage scenario. I think the weight cut's too much for Sam, and I think the harder punch of Walker, who's on the up right now, against the inactive Eggington, is just going to make the difference here. Mid-round, not a stoppage.
Yeah, I've got TK around 9 myself for Conor Walker.
Let's go a billionaire. What do you think, mate?
Hey man, shout out to the prediction league. I got Conor the Dog Walker. He finna beat up Sam Eggington, man. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, absolutely. Brett.
Yeah, this I think we'll probably be all down the line here with this one, but I feel like Eggington's never in a boring fight, though, is he?
No,
he's gonna give us value for as long as it lasts, and maybe the dog in him takes it all the way. But I think it's going to be Walker's night, and I wouldn't be surprised with a late stoppage or the corner pulls him out. But the dog in Eggington's going to give it all he's got until somebody says he can't go no more. But I don't see him having the tools anymore to get through this one.
Yeah, that's the problem with Eggington, is the fact that he does tend to take a lot of combination shots in a row. I've seen that many a fight with him. He weathers the storm till he gets to the end of the round, and then comes out banging it once more. So I see what you're getting there, mate. Home of boxing, how did you see it go?
Yeah, shout out Prediction League. I went with a Walker UD, but I'm seeing a lot of people are thinking Walker's gonna get the knockout. So I was thinking I might have made the wrong choice, but no, I feel like Eggington is gonna be a strong guy. He's not gonna want to go out. He's probably gonna try to last all rounds. So I believe it'll be a UD by Walker. But Eggington, I did see he only fought once this 2025. So I think that could actually might play a factor in his fight against Walker. But I'm hoping, how you were saying, he shows grit in all his fights. He comes out banging every time. So I'm thinking it might just be a UD, Walker UD. I don't think Eggington's going to try to give up, unless he gets knocked out, of course. But I think it'll be a Walker UD.
Yeah, Sam
Thanks,
Eggington
mate.
gave up a European title fight for this fight as well. He was
Yeah,
scheduled for a European title fight. He pulled out of that to make this fight because there was more money involved.
at
So,
£154, yeah.
yeah, it was super welter, yeah.
Lots of boxing, you're aware of Eggington's heart and grit, this typical British heart and grit that he has, if not the skill set. Weight up for us, he's coming down in weight. He's up against the younger, more active Walker with absolutely the power element at his weight. Can Eggington bring that 154-pound mentality on the younger, smaller guy, more powerfully built?
No. I know that was a simple answer, but no. Reality, I think Walker.
It's the true answer.
I think Walker will get a decision. I do believe there might be that small chance that Eggington somehow convinces a judge it was worth a draw. So entail maybe a majority draw or a majority decision. But yeah, I just don't think so. I think Eggington's past it. It's time to retire after this one and call it a day. CTE isn't worth it in the long run.
That's a great point. Sam Eggington has had some wars jabs in the last few years. And he's, his face has been washed from here many and many times. However, he's one of them boxers you just can't tell to quit. He'll do it in his own time. He loves the sport. It's all he knows. He's one of them guys that would really suffer if he had to stop right now, mentally. So I hope
bro, as you know from speaking to him, when you done the interview with him, bro, what did he say to you? He will never stop. He will never stop. It's all he knows. It's the only way he knows how to make money. It's how he supports his family. It's what he does. And he's done it for many, many years. Yeah, he's had 9 defeats, but he's never, ever been blown out of there. I've got a horrible feeling that Conor Walker might just blow him out of there.
Yeah,
that's the fear. It's got to be the end of Big Sam.
That's the fear in taking this fight. He did call for it on social media, Sam Eggington, when the other guy dropped out. He said, "Well, I'm here. I'll do it. I'll drop down the weight and come and see you." So they made it. Sam Eggington. I mean, it's a good Midlands affair here in the UK. That they'll certainly light up the Wolverhampton Arena there on Saturday night. But it's all looking towards a Sam Eggington defeat at the hands of Conor Walker. Let's move on to the next fight, Jams.
Yeah, let's go for Armando Resendez against Jaime Munguia. We've got the WBA super middleweight title on the line. This is co-main to obviously Zurdo against Benavidez from Las Vegas. This is a great fight, but for me, there's only one winner, and that's Jaime Munguia. What say you?
The other way around, mate. I think Resendez is going to actually spark out Munguia mid-rounds. Billionaire.
Mung Cheater has had a couple shaky outings these last couple times out. Resendez has been on an upset tear lately. We saw what he did to Caleb Plant, upset of the year. I think Resendez is gonna do the same thing, man. I think anybody feeling like Munguia is gonna win, he's gonna get upset come tomorrow night. I think Resendez is a good boxer. I think Munguia is a heavy hitter, but it's Resendez time right now, so that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Home of boxing. I don't remember what you predicted for this fight. However, I'm keen to know what your thoughts are, considering how Munguia was absolutely folded by Hamza Shiraz. Has he recovered?
And Bruno Sarache.
and Sirachi. Has he recovered, do you think, to take on another hard hitter like Resendez?
No, I feel I picked Resendez by UD because I feel like Munguia, to knock him out, you gotta have that power out of nowhere like Bruno Saras had. That was interesting. He just like landed one and knocked him out. But I don't think Resendez has that power, but he does have that power where you're gonna respect him as soon as he hits you. So I believe it's gonna be a back and forth. This is gonna be another banger, and then main event's gonna be a banger as well. But no, that co-main is really gonna deliver. We're gonna have two Mexican fighters just going at it. They're gonna be toe to toe. But then I think eventually Munguia is gonna be the one actually taking a step back, realizing Resendez is here. He's trying to prove a statement. How Billionaire Boxing was saying, I think he's the new guy. So he's really trying to prove that he's really that guy now. And he fought twice in 2025, while Munguia have only fought once, and it was against Bruno Saras, where it was like supposedly he took some steroids or something, but he already got cleared. So, but other than that, he's going in despite knowing that he went through some drama. He really needs to prove himself against Resendez, but I don't think so. I think Resendez is just too much right now. It's his time, and I think we'll see Resendez by UD, maybe even a few knockdowns, but I think we'll get Resendez UD.
Respect, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Bronson Boxing, you've heard all the evidence from these guys. Another great Mexican affair that could well possibly be the litmus test for the main event. I pose the same question to you. Has Jaime Munguia, who's not had a win in 3 years, I think, 2024?
No, he beat Bruno Sirachi in the rematch.
All right, he beat Sirachi in the rematch.
Yeah.
But let's go to Blunts. What do you think?
I think that this fight is going to be relatively close. It's going to be where I feel like Resendez, as my brother Homa Boxing had stated, I think he might end up kind of edging it out towards the end, where he'll separate himself from Munguia. I think Jaime is in a unique situation because he needs to really impress. But Resendez, I think, kind of is the type of fighter who can upset the apple cart. He's shown us that multiple times. So that's why I really do believe Resendez by split decision in this fight. That's what's so unique about it, because I do believe it'll be very close, and I guarantee one judge will see it in Jaime's favor, even though I feel like Resendez will likely pull it out towards the end.
Okay, then thanks, mate. Well, Jams, a few of them think that Resendez will be victor, and a few think Munguia will come through. It's certainly a step up for Resendez. I would agree with that, but I am always aware of guys on losing runs. I'll always come back and he's one against Sirachi. But that knockout and that previous knockout to Shiraz, that'll pray in the back of his mind, even coming into this fight, that he can't do anything stupid. So he might fight a bit more reserved, and maybe Munguia could take it on a split, like someone said. Because it's going to be high
Munguia's he's only lost to Canelo and Sirachi by the knockout. And I can see Munguia coming in here confident against Resendez. Resendez has not fought at the same level, in my opinion. He got a split decision against Caleb Plant. He lost to Elijah Garcia. I don't think Resendez should even be a world champion, mate. I think he's a gifted champion, a very lucky champion. And I think Munguia's going to strip that belt away. I can see Munguia knocking him out. Maybe 5 or 6 rounds. I think it's a mismatch, to be quite honest. I've never seen anything in Armando Resendez that makes me think he's a world-class operator. I might be being a bit harsh, but I've never seen anything that makes me think he's a good boxer. I think Munguia takes care of him. Mid to mid rounds, you know. I'd say round 5 or 6. I think he takes him out. I think Munguia takes him out nice and easy.
Nice and easy, says Jams. A win for Munguia. What's next, mate?
Let's go for Bilal Fawaz against Ryan Kelly. It's co-main from Wolverhampton. We've got the British and Commonwealth titles on the line. Got 31-year-old Fawaz, 32-year-old Ryan Kelly. Both coming in good form, you know. Fawaz 11-1-1. We've got Kelly 26-1. You know, there's a year between them. Fawaz wants to hurt him, mate. I've seen the interview at the weigh-in. He wants to hurt him. Whether he can or not is different. You know, what you say and what you do are two very different things. But I think Bilal Fawaz will box his ears off and will take the UD win. What say you, Mr. Neutral?
Oh, I thought Fowers was a lot older than that. But let's not take anything away from that marvellous performance.
Sorry, mate. I said 31. I meant 38. Sorry.
Yeah,
It was my mistake. 38, mate. It's 38.
He sort of belies his age, doesn't he, with his physicality and that. He's super fit. He knows how to go the distance. He knows how to win on the distance. And I was very, very impressed with his last fight. I think he'll be too much for Ryan Kelly, and I think he'll stop him later on. Billionaire.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like Fawaz a lot. I think he's gonna box. I'm with Jam as well. I think he's gonna box his socks off and possibly get a late stoppage. So I'm going with Bilal Fawaz for sure.
Brett, I know he's lost to the likes of Agyako and Kieran Conway, Ryan Kelly, but what do you think on Bilal Fawaz, especially after the Ishmael Davis and Junaid Bostan wins?
Yeah, I'll just you missed me out on the last one. The only reason why I want to go back to it is just because
sorry, man.
It's okay. I just think just for the group here, because I know you're all in the league and I'm no longer in it anymore. I think there's going to be some controversy in the fight. I think it's going to be a good fight, and I think Munguia is going to take it on the judges' scorecards for a bit of a robbery. I just got a sense that they want to rebuild Munguia back again, just to get him back in the limelight. But anyway, that's everybody else's points bang on, and Jams is saying really that it's going to upset the form book. But anyway, this fight, he's a character, isn't he? He's an absolute character.
Yes.
And you know, we need locally British boxing needs some characters. But I agree with everybody that spoke so far. I think he's probably going to stop him late, and then hopefully because he's a bit of a character, because he's having a late resurgence and at 38 years of age. Hopefully his next fight makes him a bag of money. And he can, you know, and those type of success stories is what we live for in boxing. You know, he can towards the back end of his career of being 38, he gets a huge chunk of money because he is a character, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know, the only problem though, Brett, the only problem is Bilal Fawaz can't fight outside the UK because the British government won't give him a passport.
Oh, right.
He's 7 years old, but he cannot leave. He cannot fight in Saudi. He can't fight in America. He can't fight in Germany. If he leaves the UK, he loses his citizenship. He's only got a pass to be here while he's here. If he leaves to go and fight elsewhere, he loses the right to be in Britain.
Listen, mate, you can still if he looks good Saturday night, if he talks well afterwards, he calls somebody out and he gets people talking, he can still earn a bag of money in his next fight, and that's what. Because he is such a character, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and hopefully the sport and its backers and its promoters and that make an appeal to the British government about his citizenship and get it all wrapped up. But let's go to home of boxing. You know, Bilal Fawaz, Ryan Kelly. Kelly's lost a few. He only had a six rounder in his last fight against Elliot Eboegbe. I've had the pleasure of speaking to him as well. Great man.
Great geezer. Great geezer.
Great guy. Do you think that Fawaz will have a field day with Ryan Kelly?
No, I think I might be the only one that picked a majority decision for Fawaz. I saw his fight with Ishmael Davis. It was interesting. Many believed Ishmael Davis would win, but then Fawaz was able to pull it off by just like boxing on his back foot. So I'm really surprised that many people are already counting off Ryan Kelly, but I think Ryan Kelly will definitely put up a fight. We've seen recently he's only lost by majority decision, and he lost to Yarko. He was next up against Adams, but then Adams got sick, so that fight didn't go through. And he's
now fighting Josh Kelly for the world title, mate, at 154.
See, Exactly. See, it was a majority decision loss to him. So I feel like he'll definitely put up a fight. I don't think he's just going to go down easy. So that's why I got Fawaz by majority decision. He'll probably just be able to just box him. But at the same time, Kelly will probably try to put up a fight. And, yeah, that's what I'm picking.
I'll tell you what, Homer Boxing, you know, if you get that right, it'll be his third majority decision win in a row. Put some odds on that at the bookmakers, mate. You're going to win some serious cash. It'll be 3 MDs in a row.
I
Because he
still
beat
can't, but I'll be
he
I'll be
beat
able to
Ismail
bet
Davis
soon.
by majority decision. He beat Janae Boston by majority decision. So it'll be his 3rd MD in a row. Imagine the odds
Could
on that at the
well be.
bookmakers.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Could well be. All right. Thanks, gentlemen. Let's go to Blunts. You've had these guys and their opinions. You know, does Ruthless Ryan have a chance here against Bilal Fawaz, or will he prove too experienced for the guy at 38 making a late resurgence?
So I think he has a good chance of putting on a worthy performance. One to again possibly get a judge on his side, but I do favor Fawaz to get the split decision or a decision against Kelly. I just think that Fawaz is just too skilled, too polished. Kelly is a great fighter, but I just at this point in time, I just feel like it's kind of cut and dry in terms of who's going to win this fight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Blunts. Back to you, James.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it, mate. Let's wrap it up here. We've been nearly an hour.
There you
We've
go.
kept the lads
Let's
long
wrap it
enough.
up there.
Thank you to Homer Boxing. Thank you to Brett the Boxing Man. Thank you to Blunts and Boxing. Thank you to Billionaire Boxing. Let's wrap this up, mate. Let's just call it an hour.
Yeah, I just want to give an honourable mention to Takuma Inoue and Kazuto Ioka. If Ioka wins, he's the first Japanese guy to go 5-weight world champion. Let's not forget that great achievement.
Great fight as well, mate. We'll be doing the watch along Mr. Neutral tomorrow morning in the UK.
Yeah, let's all keep an eye on that one. And really, if Ioka gets the upset against Inoue, and many will see it as an upset, let's give him his flowers. Okay.
It'll be an upset after he beat Tenshin last time, but is it really an upset? Not in my opinion.
Let's see. We'll see. Let's see. But, you know, the great name of Inoue, you know, carries through here. And it's great to see the brothers fighting on the same card. Absolutely.
Yeah,
smashed
Cohen Main.
Yeah, I want to thank all the people in the chat who've watched along with us. I see Bob there. I see you, James. Not many comments right now, however, not a problem. And our special guest here tonight, Home of Boxing, Billionaire Boxing, Brett the Boxing Man, and Blunts Boxing, and of course, Jams, for this preview show, nearly an hour long. Fantastic stuff. And we've got through all 3 main events and partial undercards. Now, look, Prediction League starts tomorrow morning. And we got 1 week left after this week, fight week 14. Fight week 15 is the end of season 3. First and foremost, we wish all of you the very best of order and luck going into the final week. There's lots to play for, prizes, merchandise, and of course, in the live leagues, there is cash prizes. The ex-leaguers, they'll probably throw something in for you guys as well in the inaugural season of X-League, which will be growing next season. And if you want to join us in Prediction League, please get in touch with myself or Jams on X or any of the social media platforms and get registered. It's free, it's good fun, keeps you active over a weekend, and it's a real community. So you're welcome to join in. But in the meantime, from these fine gentlemen who will be watching the box over the weekend and all the big fights, to see how their predictions have got on. Jams, we had done massive watch-alongs all through the weekend. Probably too many, but it's what we do here at Red Corner Boxing, my man. So see us out and tell the guys what's coming up next.
Yes, mate. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. We're going to be starting from Japan. We're doing 3 fights, starting with Jin Sasaki, moving up to Takumi Inoue, and then going for the monster against Junto Big Bang Nakatani. And then, of course, we're going to be over in Wolverhampton from about 7:45 to 8 p.m. We're going to be doing Bilal Fawaz versus Ryan Kelly. We're going to be doing the main event, of course, Conor Walker against Sam the Eggman Eggington. And then, of course, we're going to still be going at 5 a.m. when we do Zurdo against Benavidez. And we're going to slip in a little bit of undercard action with Jaime Munguia against Armando Resendez. WBA title on the line. Do not miss it on Red Corner Boxing. We are here for your entertainment. We love y'all. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see y'all soon. God bless.
Take
Take
care.
it easy.
Step in the ring, no fear, all bite, hands up high. We train for this fight, bell gon' ring, it's war on sight. This is boxing life, this is fight night. Sweat on the floor, we grind, we climb, every bruise on the body.